Hey, you know who I am. It's Jeremy Roenick, and I am up front on OTR. Don't go away. You better check this out.
Off the Record with Michael Landsberg. Brought to you by the Keg Steakhouse and Bar. For great steaks, good friends. See you tonight.
I'm good to go. I'm always good to go. Ooh, you can dance. I've had so many dumb questions asked to me. I just got to remember the Enrique Iglesias lines. I can be your hero, baby. Embarrassing. This is a cameo, just a little, guest spot.
When JR signed up to do the show, we asked you at home to name the segment. The response was overwhelming. Well, Canada, you have voted, and after personally looking through 23 emails, it's over, and the winner is OJR. You like?
23 emails? God, I'm really happy everybody in Canada is so interested in the show right now.
So, JR, I read on RoenickLife.com, quote, I am no longer affiliated with the NHL, so I will now tell it like I see it. I can't be fined anymore, and that's like a breath of fresh air. Tell us something that you couldn't say before that you wanted to.
Well, that's true. I mean, I'm not afraid to get fined anymore. The NHL obviously tries to, put a little spin on everything that they want, and they try to control us as much as they possibly can. They can't do that to me anymore, but I don't know if I'd say anything about the league, but I will say that I think Saskin and Goodnow were not very good for the league, and they're just as much thieves as everybody else in any kind of sense of the word.
But weren't you one of the guys that benefited hugely from the CBA that was negotiated back in 1994 that Bob Goodnow has gotten so much credit for?
Oh, absolutely, but I think my talent and what I did for the game and the way I played had a lot to do with that too. Yeah, they came out with with the ability to have everybody see what everybody was making, and that was all great. Goodnow was good for that, but when you start tampering with emails, you start doing things for your own benefit, it's not good, especially when you're a part of the NHLPA. NHLPA should be a clean, great industry, and they've put a tampering on it.
So I would assume from what I've heard you say in the past that if you were voting right now, you would have kept Paul Kelly, correct?
I would have kept Paul Kelly. Right now, the NHLPA has got a bad rap. Right now, from Alan Eagleson to Bob Goodnow to Saskin, I think Paul Kelly would have put a great spin back into it.
So a wild week of interesting and sometimes devastating hits on the ice. I want to go through them with you. First of all, the Mike Richards hit on David Booth. Was it clean or not clean?
I think it was a fantastic hit. Now, let's remember, we play hockey, Michael, okay? We play a very physical sport. We play a demanding sport, and there are hits all over the place. If you don't like to get hits, take hitting out, take fighting out, and see how many people watch the game. We already have a tough enough job as it is, attracting fans to watch it on TV, because the popularity on TV is terrible, the ratings. So you know what? If you don't like it, take the fighting out, then see what happens. Take the hitting out, see what happens. That was a great hit, and I'm telling you right now, that was Booth's fault. We are taught in hockey, we are taught not to come across the middle with our head down, not to come across the middle, make a pass, and then watch your pass coming through the middle. Now, Booth, he's a very talented player. Don't get me wrong, he's a great player, but he is going to learn quick that you do not come across the middle with your head down. You do not follow your pass and look behind and see where it is, because you're going to get smoked. Ask Eric Lindros. Ask Paul Kariya. The same things happened to them. Scott Stevens absolutely laid out Eric Lindros a few years ago with almost the same hit in the exact same place. No penalty. It was a great hit. Kariya, the same thing. That was a very well-timed hit. You cannot come across the middle. And you know what? They say headshots, and they say he hit high. Booth was leaning over, and Richards didn't take any extra strides, and he laid his shoulder into the kid. That's what we do in hockey, and it's a very, very split-second opportunity to make a change. And you're not going to make a change. When you're ready to hit somebody, you're going to get hit. This is a physical sport, and I'm telling you one thing, Michael, Booth will not be coming across the middle with his head down or following his pass anymore.
So you talk about being a physical sport, and you say you got to leave it in there. What do you think of Ruutu's hit on the back of the head of Darcy Tucker?
Okay,
does that fall into the same category?
Okay, totally different thing. Totally different thing. I am not a big Ruutu fan. I think he's gutless. I think he's a cheap shot. I don't think he sticks up for himself. I think he runs and hides when he gets into an altercation. This was an absolutely cowardly, stupid, idiotic thing that Ruutu did, and I think I like Darcy Tucker. Okay, and don't get me wrong. Darcy Tucker's a really good friend of mine, and I love the way he plays. And occasionally he embellishes it a little bit. He makes it seem a little bit worse than what it is, but he did hit his head hard. And Ruutu, you can see Tucker's 16. You can see it plain as day. His back was turned, his face in the glass, and Ruutu still continued to hammer his face and his body into the boards from behind. That is totally gutless. That is exactly the lack of disrespect that has entered this game. And I think he should have been fined. I think he should have been suspended 20 games and fined a huge amount of money, because that is the exact stuff that has to get taken out of our game, because guys like that are coming into our game and they're getting paid just to run around and hit people and stir up the pot and be instigators. Him, Tutu, you can go right on down the line. That was gutless. That was chicken. That was just totally uncalled for. And I think he should have got suspended and fined huge for that.
You gave us exactly what we wanted. Stay right there. I know you're at home. Go play with the new dog and return for next question, okay?
That's what I'm here for.
Jeremy Roenick, candid views, as you heard. And speaking of candor, there's a panel sitting over there, and we're going to get to them right after this. Later on, next question with JR. He talks about the Big E and his locker room legacy in Philadelphia.